Oh my goodness, I am so excited to make these cookies. Only 2 ingredients, plus I'm going to add some embellishments. I'm Pam. I help teachable spirits make progress one pep talk at a time. Now, a lot of times people are scared to make cookies, but I'm going to show you a really easy way to make some fun fall cookies and to put your own spin on them. By the way, this is day 27 of 100 days of posting. I've challenged myself to post every day of the last 100 days of 2024. Let's get baking. This recipe only calls for 2 ingredients, spice cake mix and canned pumpkin. I am also going to try adding in raisins to some, cranberries into others, and we're going to see if we can melt these down and make a drizzle. This is going to be an experiment. All right, I have the oven preheating to 350 degrees. It says to spray the cookie sheets lightly with vegetable spray. I'm going to use these Silpats, and this is going to be the easiest recipe ever. So I'm just dumping this spice cake mix in, and 1 full can of pumpkin. This is a 15-ounce can of pure solid pack pumpkin. Do not buy the pumpkin pie filling, that's different. This is definitely the time of year for all things pumpkin, pumpkin spice. All right, mix this all together. It recommends for add-ins raisins, which we are going to use, or nuts, which we are not going to use because I'm allergic. But that would certainly be a good addition. This is coming together nicely. I'm going to try cranberries. You could certainly use dried cranberries. I just happen to have some cranberries that were fresh, and I had put them in the freezer. They'll keep for a long time that way. I even put cranberries into my smoothie sometimes, just a couple. Gives it a little kick, a little tartness, and they're good for you. Okay, let's make sure I don't have anything stuck to the spoon. Make sure it's all well incorporated. Okay, and I am going to separate this out into some different batches because we're going to be trying different mix-ins. Okay, first I'm just going to do some plain. Guess it would help if you could see those. Okay, I'm just going to do those plain, and I think that I'm just going to, oh, that was not a good idea. I don't expect these to spread a lot, but maybe they will. I was just going to try to flatten them, but they're actually pretty soft. All right, then I'm going to put some of the mixture into a different bowl. All right, I'm going to add some cranberries. Oops. This group. I'm not quite sure how many to add. Well, it says to add 1 cup of whatever you're adding in, but I am not operating with a full batch right now. Don't have to do too much mixing here. All right. And then benzene. Put close to half a cup. Okay, let's put some of these raisin ones on. And now I'm putting on the cranberry cookies, cranberry mixed in pumpkin spice cookies. Definitely gonna need another pan. So I'll use parchment paper on that one. I don't know how much these are gonna spread, so it may be that we could have put them closer, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. Okay, here's a pro tip. To keep your parchment paper from like curling, crunch it up and then lay it flat. Still works perfectly great, but you won't have the paper curling up on you. When I had a baking business, I would order parchment paper by the case, and it came already cut and flat. That was so nice. I miss that. But I don't do enough baking now to justify that kind of a purchase, and it does take up a lot of room to store it. All right, so here are all the cookies before they are baked. I believe that I probably could have gotten those 2 rows onto these 2 because I'm thinking that they probably have room, but oh well, we are not moving them now. So let's put them in the oven and see how they come out. By the way, these are going to bake for 8 to 15 minutes. That's a really wide range, so I'll be checking on them. By the way, I'm now noticing that this recipe, which is from Food, I'll leave a link in the description box, calls for an 18¼ ounce box of spice cake mix, and this is 18.25 ounces. So that may change the outcome. I was expecting these to be a bit stiffer, so we'll just have to see. That may be why, because the ratio was different of pumpkin to the spice cake mix. And so, but this was the only kind of spice cake mix that Food Lion had. And I had seen somewhere else of people questioning the size of the cake mixes, that they were smaller than they used to be. So shrinkflation? Well, we'll see if this affects the outcome. Okay, so while those are baking, I am going to go ahead and unwrap these candies that we have. So I'm planning on melting these and using them as a drizzle. So we'll see how that works. I did set the timer for just part of the time because I wanted to switch the which one was on top of the, like on the top rack, and which one was on the bottom partway through. So when I did that, I saw that they were actually still kind of puffed up. So I took a spoon and just kind of pressed them down a little bit, so they'll look more like cookies and less like, I don't know, donut holes. Whoops, what's that doing over there? I need to pay attention to what I'm doing here. I need candy in here, paper over here. So we shall see. And of course, these ones over here waiting for the next round. All right. Oh, these are coming off nicely. These are the plain ones. These are the raisin ones. Pumpkin spice cookies with raisins. You know, I thought that white chocolate chips would also be maybe a good addition. Let's see, that's cranberry. Let me finish the raisins. Of course, these do not have the same texture as regular cookies. Cake mix cookies are, well, more cakey, but still yummy and fast and easy. Require very little measuring. There was no measuring for this. I mean, I did sort of measure out the add-ins. That would be the only thing, and that's not really going to affect the baking of them. I wanted to show you real quick. This is what the cookies look like after 7 minutes. I'm just going to give you them a quick little mash and see my spoon is not sticking like it would have at the beginning of the process, and this will just make them nice and flat. Now I'm going to pop them back in maybe 5 to 7 more minutes. All right, all of the cookies are now out of the oven. It did end up making 30 cookies, so that's 2.5 dozen. That was with the add-ins added to most of them, and using this scoop, which is pretty much called a cookie scoop. I'm not sure exactly what the measurement is, but if you wanted to, you could make them larger. I do have a scoop that is bigger. It's, I believe, holds twice as much as this one. It has a number 24 on it. Let me see if I can show that. 24. I don't know exactly what that means. I used to know, but I don't remember right now. But if you made it with a larger scoop, you would definitely want to take them out after about 7 minutes probably, and then give them a little pat with a back of a spoon or a spatula, and then that'll make them flatter, look more like cookies. So we're going to let these cool, and then we're going to put some drizzle on them. You could ice them. That's actually what the recipe says that you can do, to ice them with cream cheese frosting, and that would be absolutely delicious. But we're going to go a little bit different direction and put some caramel drizzle. So here I have some melted caramel. I did it in like 15-second intervals. I think it was about 45 seconds. And I'm just going to drizzle it on. Hopefully this won't be a total mess. Whoa, some big clumps of caramel. And if it hardens up on you, just stick it back in. Yeah, this is not as runny. It hardens very quickly. Soften it up again. Let's continue. Oh, my hand is in the way, isn't it? I am sorry. Still working on finding the best angles to do these things. And it's not that it's going to get hard, like hard and crunchy, but it's just going to it gets to the point where it's not like runny to where I can drizzle it. And it happens very fast, but that's okay. I think this is going to taste so yummy. And I've left a few of them over here, 1, 2, 3, 7, that I did not put anything on. I just want to make sure I get some on each of these. Well, I'm going to have to work on presentation. I'm sure there's a better way for me to do this, and I will look into that, but for now, who cares what they look like? It's really more about how they taste. So we'll let those cool for a few minutes and then we'll give a little taste test. And here's the finished product. I am so excited to try these. Okay, so I know I need to work on presentation because some of them have big globs of caramel on them. Some of them have very little. I think that if I put something in them that I could pipe on the caramel, like a plastic bag. I'm just going to be careful because it's hot. So I'll work on that. First, I'm going to try the OG, just the original with the caramel on it, but there's no mix-ins. It's just pumpkin spice cookie made with cake mix. So the caramel idea has merit, but needs work. Just using straight up melting caramels, when it hardens, it like returns to the same form. So when you go to bite it off, like that's what you're noticing, is it's like this chewy thing on top of the cookie. So it needs work, but I don't know. I mean, maybe, I don't know if it'd be possible to use chopped up soft caramels for a mix-in. I don't know. That would be worth trying. I don't know if it would just like all ooze out. Probably would. But definitely a good flavor, and the cookie is really good. Full disclosure, I did try each of these without the caramel topping on them as I was waiting for them to be cool enough. And they're all really good. So let's see. Let's try the cranberry one. All right. So you can see this is not a good example. Let's see. Okay, that reminds me of a muffin, like a pumpkin muffin with cranberries in it. It's good, but just really reminds me of a muffin. And I love cranberries, like straight up. So it has that tartness. And so if you like that in cookies, then go for it. But it would actually, it actually reminds me of a muffin. Okay, so then let's try one of the raisin pumpkin spice cookies. This one actually has a decent looking drizzle, sort of. All right, let's make sure I bite a part that has raisins. Okay, I have to keep on pausing the record because I'm getting the caramel stuck in my teeth. So, okay, that is the winner. The raisins, it's really good with the raisins. I think because they are like stiffer, it holds up better. I think that craisins, the dried cranberries, would be really good. Nuts are also good. I'm allergic, so we aren't going to do that today. There's probably other things like maybe, I don't know, seeds or something. I also thought about white chocolate. That would make it very sweet. I'm not a big fan of chocolate with pumpkin spice flavor, so chocolate chips, probably not something I would do. I'd be willing to try though. I'll try anything once. But I really like the raisins. And maybe you could do nuts and raisins. That would be good to have a mixture of those textures together. And as I mentioned before, you could also frost these with like a cream cheese frosting. That would be really yummy. And this is a good size. You might want to make them bigger with like a bigger size scoop. You don't even have to have a scoop. Really, you could just use like 2 spoons and like scoop it up with one and push it off on the other. They wouldn't be as perfectly round, although these are not perfectly round either, but it's easier to get round when you use scoops. Thank you for watching. I would love to hear in the comments. Drop me a comment and tell me, what would you add into these pumpkin spice cookies? And really, you don't have to add anything. The ones that are just straight up plain, the pumpkin and the spice cake mix, those are good. I'm also wondering, like, could you make pancakes with this? You'd probably want to thin it out a little bit more so that like the pancakes would actually spread. Just add some water. That would be yummy. And then some maple syrup on it. Yes. If you would like to stay for the next few minutes, I'm going to be doing habits that I do at the end of each video. If not, I'll see you next time. But if so, let's go ahead and do our breathing, and then water, and then gratitude. We're going to breathe 3 times. So in 4 counts, hold 4, out 4, hold 4. All right, get your water if you don't have it. Ready? All right. Oop, I didn't show you. There you go. All right. And this is going to sound totally random once again, but tomorrow night I get to go to a band concert. I get to hear the Air Force Band and the Singing Sergeants. And I have loved band for a long time because I play the flute, and so I'm just going to say that I am thankful for band. It's such a fun thing to be in. All right, so thank you so much for watching and for doing habits with me. And I hope that you make these cookies and be creative with them. Let me know how they came out. Let me know if you have any questions. And let me know what you would add to your cookies. I will see you next time. Bye.